Family, it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, and this is Queer News Live. Family, you already know it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, and it is June 1st. It's June 1st, family, and you know what that means. You know what it means. It means it's Pride season. And when it's Pride season, you know what I get to do all day? I get to say Happy Pride every single time. And so that's exactly what I plan on doing. I plan on saying Happy Pride to absolutely everybody I see, no matter where I see them. It's Happy Pride all month long, all 30 days. I just get to say happy pride. So happy pride, everybody. It's June. It's our gay Super Bowl, okay? Child, there's events nearly every day. There are flags being raised across the city of Chicago. I hope they are being raised in your cities too. And it's this time of the year where I really just don't take it for granted at all. This is a time where there are so many people who can't live out. There's so many people who are in rural areas and they feel so isolated. And there are so many people who are just waiting for their parents or their family to accept who they are. And pride is that moment in time where it is just droves of queers celebrating who they are in the world. And that to me is why pride is still so very important, right? Especially given this current environment, the state of the world in this moment, how this administration is trying to erase our trans siblings, right? It is in these moments during Pride that we must remember that all of this started because of a riot. It didn't start because of a corporate field parade. That was not the beginnings. The beginnings were sad and dark, and gay bars were being raided and people had to be in closets, and it was decades and decades and decades of just being fed up with the system and how things were. That's how pride started. And it is in this month that we get to remember that, remember how far we have come, and remember how far we have yet to go, right? And so when I'm out here in these streets and I say happy pride, it's all of that. It is all of that at one time. And we be having a good time, don't we? We have a good time, and people be real upset about that. Oh, family. But tonight, y'all know what we do on Queer News Live, especially on Monday nights. I give you a recap of our top queer news stories that we've covered for the day. As you all know, a new episode drops every Monday morning. And I'm grateful to the team. Can I give a shout out to the team this morning? Brian, our editor, who I wouldn't want to do this podcast without. Mayana, our producer, who's researching and writing scripts. We're sharing the stories. Yes, and my assistant, Laren, who is making sure y'all actually know that an episode was published. It is a team effort around here. And it is in that spirit that we're kicking off Pride with a new campaign. Yes, we've moved. And if you didn't know, we've moved to Substack. And this is a big deal because Substack is going to give us a chance to be discovered by a whole new audience. And so if you all are not on Substack, follow us there. It's queernewspod.substack.com. It's queernewspod.substack.com. And I'm going to not only be able to share our newsletter there. So we moved all of our folks from Kit over to Substack. But I'm also able to post stories. I'm able to write there. I'm able to go live there with other creators. We're able to monetize over there as well. Join the cute crew for $5 a month. It's going to be able to, I believe, take this work to the next level. Today on the podcast, if you haven't heard the whole thing just yet, my Anna's got a word, because y'all know Anna's always got a word. My word for this week is breakthrough. That's what this month is all about. My goal is to be on the internet every single day in some shape, form, or fashion this month, just sharing the work, sharing a message, and activating queer news in a whole new way. It's time to take it to another place, to another level, and make it even more sustainable because uh, this work be working. Okay, it's not an easy thing to be independent out here. Um, if I'm not working, the work ain't working, and so this is our month. This is our Super Bowl, okay? I've been saving up all my energy over the last 2 months to be able to do Pride right and to activate queer news. So please go to Substack and subscribe with us today. It's queernewspod.substack.com. And for all my people watching on Facebook and YouTube, please type in the comments, say what's up to me so I know that you're here. Because I love saying hi. What side of the city are you in? Where you tuning in from? I'm also on Instagram right now, so that's why I'm looking down. What's going on, y'all, on IG? I just decided to go live while I do this live on YouTube and Facebook, because why not? Why not? It's good to see y'all and activating on IG Live as well. So y'all know what we're gonna do. Hey, sorry, happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Hey, y'all. Hey, Ilka. It's good to see y'all. This is what we do. We're going to go over the top queer news stories for this week. I think it's so important that y'all know what's going on in the community, right? That's what we do. We have a platform for us. And once again, please go and subscribe to the Substack, queernewspod.substack.com, so you don't miss a thing. The first thing I want to share with you so you know what's going on is our first list. This is our first list we've ever done, we've ever published. It is our Chicagoland Lesbian Business Directory. I know it's a lot of words, but you get the idea. Chicagoland Lesbian Business Directory is our first list. This list started because I made a post on the internet. I made a post wanting to know what I should cover for Pride, right? I'm so gay out here 365 days a year. And so I'm covering queer news all the time. Pride just takes it up a notch. And so it's fun to do something different during Pride Month that can give us some different ways to do coverage as well. And so I put out there, like, what if we do a lesbian business directory? Y'all said yes. Overwhelmingly, you all said yes. And I was like, okay, let's do it. You all started commenting, Threads, Facebook, Instagram. It went off. And I said, if y'all like it, I love it, let's do it. And so right when I get off of this live, I'm going to publish the directory on our Substack. You got to subscribe. Come on now. Y'all see where this is going. Subscribe to the Substack so you can get the list. And you're going to get 10 businesses. And then I just need you to join the cute crew, right? For $5 a month. And just so if you want the whole list. There are 72 businesses on this list. And this list is not static. This list is going to keep growing. I want it to continue to grow because I'm just excited to see how many lesbian-owned businesses exist in the city of Chicago. And I think it will be fun to find out. Don't you? Me too. People have already began suggesting other lists we should create. Okay. Somebody was like, we're going on a bisexual list. We're doing a pansexual list. Huh? I said, why not? I think we can do lists for all of our communities, right? And then eventually we can just have just a queer Chicagoland queer business directory, period. I think that could be really cute. Also, what we did was we went out and filmed. That's right. We've been busy. Okay. The last 2 weekends, we've gone out to different lesbian owned businesses, some that are on that top 10 list, 5 of them. And we're going to release and drop videos every week during Pride Month. And then the first week in July, because in Chicago, Black Pride, yes, it's July 4th weekend. And we're going to highlight these lesbian owned businesses via video, and I think in really cute ways. And I'm really excited about that because, hey, Jared, what's happening? I'm really excited about doing this work because we have to invest in our own communities, right? We got to circulate dollars with people who support our humanity. I think that's so incredibly important. And so here's to supporting these lesbian-owned businesses because the chances are they do support our humanity, right? And so there's bars, there are services, business services, there are restaurants, They all over the city, west side, north side, south side. And don't get me started. There ain't no east side. Okay. There's no east side in Chicago. Okay. But we're all around the city, all different types, some online, some brick and mortar. Like it really runs the gamut. And I'm just blown away by how many there actually are. So here's the deal. The moment I get off this live here, I'm going to publish it on the Substack. So you should just go right now. You should just be going to subscribe on the Substack now. Yeah. So that when I hit publish on the blog, it's going to already be in your inbox. You see how that works? It's a beautiful thing. And I'm really excited about this directory. I think it's going to really help us to grow not only our Substack, but grow our reach. I think it's going to allow us to have a different type of impact in this work. And I'm looking forward to doing more lists like this and getting better at it. Okay. Because it was a lot of work. Big ups to Laren, okay, my assistant, for coming through. We definitely tag team the situation. And next time I open my mouth on the internet, I'm going to have a form from the beginning. So everybody can fill in all the information. We filled in so much information for folks, and that's what you just got to do in the beginning. And I'm excited because we're actually going to host an event for these businesses. And actually, let me upload that so y'all can see that as well. So if you're a lesbian-owned business, if you know somebody who is a lesbian who owns a business, let me see here. I have to remove an image for that image to show. I'll do that in a second. But we're having a mixer for lesbian-owned business owners on June 18th. And I'm going to pull it up here for you in a second. I just got to remove an image. Substack only lets me do so much. Here we go. Here it is right here. We're calling it the L Suite. That's cute, ain't it? I know it's called the L Suite. And so the event's going to be June 18th at Affinity Community Services. If you're watching this on your phone, take a screenshot so then you can get that QR code and go RSVP. It's free. Ain't nobody charging. We just want to get to know each other so we can support each other's businesses. If we knew, we would do. Yeah, I think so. What's going on, Instagram? Mo, happy Pride, my friend. I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad we can do this. Dr. Maya Green hit the comment section of my post when I was talking about the directory, and she said, we should do a mixer. I sent her a text and said, let's do it. Let's do it. And so we worked together on this. I'm excited we can host it at Affinity, who's been doing this work in the community for over 30 years. And so meet us there, beat us there, RSVP. We're going to have some light snacks, light bites, and it's really just so we can get to know each other. And it's free. Come on, free. Come on, free. So family, oh, here we go. Dr. Maya Green is in the comments. What about over East? Okay. All right. Maybe. You talking about Southeast? Because see, you got to put South before the East. You talking about over Southeast? I'm just saying, ain't no East side in Chicago. All right, family, let's get into our top news story for today. It's the 7 days in June. Have y'all heard about the 7 days in June? We had Mary Morton and we had Dr. Keith Green on last week to talk about this. And I'm going to put the website down here on the live stream. For more information, you can visit 7daysinjune.org. So this is a nationwide campaign. It's not something that's happening here in Chicago. It's across the entire country. And it's not Democrat. It's not a Republican thing. It's not an independent thing. It is a nonpartisan thing. And the whole idea is to raise awareness about the massive healthcare cuts, yes, that have taken place under this administration. It's been $1 trillion of cuts between Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP benefits, child. It runs the gamut. It's been $1 trillion. Trillion. I didn't say million. I didn't say billion. $1 trillion in cuts. And that impacts absolutely everybody. So this 7 days in June, this campaign is meant to raise awareness around that. It's meant to hold our politicians to account about what they're doing to rectify this right in this moment. Because if you like me, your premiums went up. Everything has gone up. And especially when we talk about healthcare. And so that's what this campaign is all about. The Morton Group is heading it up here in the Chicagoland area. We've got the most events across the country. All right. So if you go visit the website, you can see if there's an event near you that's taking place, or they're doing virtual events as well. And so this is a great way to support. I do want to highlight a couple of things, events that you may want to know about. June 2nd, there's an event called Black Women's Voices, Our Bodies, Ourselves, an evening of health, healing, and hope. Yeah, it's going to feature an incredible lineup of storytellers. It's going to be moderated by my good friend Jackie Boyd, CEO of the Care Plan, and it's going to take place at Sisters in Cinema from 6:30 to 9 p.m. June 2nd, Tuesday, June 2nd. All right, 6:30 to 9 p.m. at Sisters in Cinema. It's a free event, and it's talking about Black women's voices, health, our bodies, ourselves. It's going to be real cute. Then there is a candlelight vigil happening Friday, June 5th at the AIDS Garden. All right. It's going to be near the Keith Haring statue at 7:30 p.m. until sunset. And the idea is that this is a candlelight vigil in response to the healthcare cuts. All right. So if you want to gather with community, we've had beautiful weather. Okay. So it should be really beautiful around 7:30 at the AIDS Garden, okay, for a candlelight vigil. And then another event I want you to know about that's all part of this 7 days in June is the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus is hosting their spring fling on June 7th. Yes, 3700 South Iron from 12:30 to 5 p.m. And the Spring Fling is their all-white fundraiser that takes place every year. And it's about health equity because the caucus is all about that. And they also celebrate the Chicago Black Gay Hall of Fame. Yeah, they started that. So there's inductees into that situation. And I'm almost certain Dr. Maya Green is one of the people being honored this year at the Spring Fling. I'm almost certain that's the truth. So if you want more information about the Spring Fling and going to get your tickets, you got to go to ChicagoBlackGayMen'sCaucus.org. They keep it cute, okay? If you've never been to an event by the caucus, they keep it real cute. It's always a good time, and they're always celebrating people in the community. And I want to make sure I get this right because I'm almost certain that I am, in fact, telling the truth. Yes, and so the Chicago Black Gay Hall of Fame, yes, there's so many beautiful inductees. Otis Mack, Kim Beach, Craig Cannonball, Justin Hill, E. Patrick Johnson, and there's Dr. Maya Green. I knew I had it right. And David Dodd. I mean, this is a fire lineup of people who are more than deserving, yes, of these honors. And the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus is doing it. Oh, come on, there's more people. I love this. Pastor Stephen Thurston, Dr. Kareem Watson, Roderick Hawkins. Oh, this crew. Okay. Yeah. So we should just be supporting the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus in the Spring Fling. So go get your tickets if you're not doing anything June 7th, 12:30 to 5 p.m. It's at that cute time too. Okay. It's at the cute time in the middle of the day. We love it like that. 3700 South Iron. You can go and support them in that. I love it. All right, next up in politics. Today, we talked about the lawsuit that's taken place. Child, do y'all know Patty Gonya? Do you know Patty right here? She's a drag queen. She's got 1.8 million followers on Instagram. She's an environmentalist. She dresses up in drag, goes hiking through like Yosemite and like these beautiful parks. And she's just always talking about climate change and how we can do better by the environment. Well, child, now she's being sued, and she did a video on Instagram, and at this point, it's reached like last time I looked, it had over 2 million likes on the video. Okay, and so it's getting far and wide, reach far and wide. But what's happening is she's actually being sued by Patagonia. Let me tell you something. Reporting on this story earlier, I had to use every consonant, vowel to make sure y'all knew that I was saying two different things. Okay, this is Patty Gonya, and she's being sued by Patagonia. Okay, the brand, and the brand is saying that Patty here is infringing on their trademark because their names are similar. They're doing similar things. But here's the Here's the tea. They've worked together before. There's never been a problem. As a matter of fact, they're doing the same type of work. Um, and they claim they're only suing her for $1, but that's not true because it's like $1 million buried in there that they're trying to get from her, and they really just want to take her name away. Yeah, and it's really really wild, and it's really really unfortunate because what they could have done was just work with her like they have in the past, but alas, they decided to sue, and they got huge lawyers, right? They are pretty well funded, this corporation, and they're going after Patty. And so she went to the people to tell them what was going on. She came to us. And so we're going to keep following the story and see what happens here. In her video, she actually shares how another queen was sued by a corporation. The corporation won. She had deals, songs, music, all of it was taken away. All of it was stripped. All of it was removed from the internet. And that was her primary source of income. And so Patty is saying she's fighting for her name, she's fighting for her likeness, she's fighting for her brand, right? She's fighting for her life against this corporation. So we will continue to follow this story, of course, and see what happens here. Yeah. Also, in other news today in politics, I got to share some good political news here, which doesn't happen very often in this job of queer news. But Trump lost recently, and I think it's always important to share when Trump loses something. Okay, this time he lost a case in D.C. A federal judge in D.C. ruled that you can't move trans women into the men's side of the prison. All right. You know, when he signed that executive order at the beginning of his term that said that there were only two sexes, right? That set off a chain of events across any federal buildings, offices, that there were only two sexes, right? Well, it prison is one of those places, right, that the federal government oversees if it's not a private prison. And they wanted to move trans women into the men's side of the prison. And the plaintiffs in this case just expressed the violence that they encounter, right? How unsafe it is to move them to the men's side of the prison. And in this case, the judge heard them and heard them clearly and said, not on my watch. Not on my watch. That ain't going to happen here. So this was just another case of Trump intimidating folks, sending folks through the legal system, right? Spending money, spending time and energy. And in the end, we win. But in so many cases, the damage is already done because you've had to expend so much energy fighting him, you know, and fighting his lawyers and his team. But this is a win. And we like that. We like when Trump loses around here, huh? We like that. Now, family, it is Pride. And I feel like I can just keep saying happy Pride. Happy Pride. Yes, you should tell me in the comments too. I love this time of the year. And so on the show for Culture and Entertainment today, I shared a list of events that are coming up this month that I think you should go check out. Now, I also want to give a shout out to my cousins over there at Windy City Times. Yes, our legacy LGBTQ news outlet, because they have actually published a guide to Pride. Yeah, so if you visit windycitytimes.com, they have a collection of about 50 events. There's like 70 prides. If you didn't know, there are neighborhoods that have prides, celebrations. There's counties, the suburbs, child downstate, upstate, around the state. They have a list of like 70 prides that are happening this month alone. It's absolutely incredible. It's incredible. So go visit windycitytimes.com for your whole guide to Pride. And then if you still don't see nothing you like there, go to Social Butterflies because they have a huge list because people get to submit events, yes, that maybe don't make their particular list. But child, it's all queer. It's all gay. And there's so much happening. There's an event every day. It's like 2-3 events every day. But here's my roundup that I wanted to share with you, okay? First off, I've got our podcast salon coming up on June 12th at Sisters in Cinema. Y'all definitely need to come and check that out. It's going to be a mighty good time. We got Red for Revolution and Unboxing Queer History are the two podcasts we're going to feature. So you should come. The podcast salon. It's going to be absolutely fantastic on June 12th. Okay, so I want y'all to know about that. Second thing I want y'all to know about is Pride Fest because Durand is coming. The red is coming on June 20th, and you're going to want to come. You're going to want to be there for that because it's going to be good. It is going to be good. So I'm excited about that. Also, the sports teams, right? The Chicago White Sox is having Pride Night on June 12th. Excuse me, June 10th. And y'all know T. Sanders from Chicago, the comedian who be doing the whole like situation on the internet. She's actually got a custom hat that's going to be there on June 10th. I'm about this close to buying a ticket just so I can get that hat. Just so I can get that hat because that hat is fire. She showed it on the internet and I want that. So the White Sox Pride Night is June 10th. And then Chicago Skies Pride Night is June 24th. All right. So the sports teams are doing the prides. If you're into sports, you might want to go to one of those games. Okay. And then we can't forget Black Pride. July 5th, DuSable Museum. Meet me there, beat me there. We're gonna have the podcast stage again. But y'all, let me just tell you, there's just so much going on, and it's really great. I love it here. I love it here. And then our last story that we shared today on the podcast was Lori Cannon Way. Lori Cannon, do y'all know Lori Cannon? If you don't, let me just tell you, she was a force to be reckoned with. Okay. During the AIDS crisis, she was known as an AIDS angel because she was committed to making sure that her friends, right? She had friends in the gay community who had passed away from AIDS, from complications due to AIDS. And she wanted to do something. And during those times, during the 80s, there were so many people who didn't want to touch anybody who had AIDS because they didn't know if they would catch it. And you already know the President Reagan didn't do anything, right? And it was just such an ugly time for our community. We lost a whole generation. And Lori stepped up as a comrade and said, I want to do something. So she began feeding people. And they called her an AIDS angel. And she started a food program. Do y'all know how many people she fed? 15 million meals. 15 million meals. One person started something because of a need, because she wanted to take care, right, of her friends who were living with AIDS, who nobody was caring for. And it turned into a program that ended up making over 15 million meals. That's crazy. It's amazing. This is how I know one person can absolutely make a difference. And so recently, on the 5500 block of North Broadway, it has been renamed Lori Cannon Way. Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. She was also co-founder of the Legacy Project. And if y'all are familiar, in Chicago, if you go to the north side in Lakeview, you see the big pillars that have the placards on them, the history placards. That's the Legacy Project. It is the largest outdoor LGBTQ museum in the world, and it's right here in Chicago. She's a co-founder of the Legacy Project because her and Victor Salvo were really, really good friends. So if you're ever at 5500 North Broadway, check out Lori Cannon Way, okay? Hey, Tanya, what's going on? Family, I'm just happy to be here sharing queer news with you, okay? This is what I love to do, amplifying the stories in our community because we deserve to know them. Yes, we hear about the bad things because bad news travels quite fast. That's just how this thing works. That's how the algorithm works. You tell some gossip, child, tell some bad news, it's going to take off. But I'm telling you this right now, there's more happening in the community. Yeah, there's good things happening all the time. I'm never short on stories to share with y'all, but I always make it a point to share the good too, because we're not losing every battle. We're actually winning some battles out here. And I know we're going to win the war because we ain't going to stop fighting. And you can't erase us. All of this. We ain't going nowhere. And guess what? It's Pride. So happy Pride, family. And don't forget, we have a new Substack. We got a new Substack. I need y'all to go subscribe. I'm going to roll the ticker again. This is going to be our hub. The algorithms, you miss stuff. The algorithms, you miss things. And I don't want y'all to miss a thing. We got a lot of amazing things happening. And the lesbian business directory is dropping as soon as I get off this live. So I want y'all to go subscribe so you don't miss it. All right. And your support means the world. We're trying to get these subscribers up, trying to expand our reach, build our audience, and where else to start but right here with you. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It's been a good time. We ain't here for a long time, just a good time. I love it here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and having a good time with me. What's going on, IG Live? Let's see here. Oh, we got a comment. Young, gifted, and black. What's going on? The lesbians and queer women who stood by gay and queer men during the height of the AIDS epidemic are such unsung heroes. Absolutely. And a little queer history fact here for you. So, the reason the L comes before the G, you can Google this, I promise you, I'm telling you the truth. All right. Is because of the AIDS crisis. So, before the AIDS crisis, the acronym would always go GLBT. The G would always come first. But after the AIDS crisis and the way that the lesbians showed up for gay men who didn't often show up for them, we ain't got to go down that. We ain't going to go down that history piece. Okay. Sexism was still very real in the gay community. But during the AIDS crisis, lesbians stood up. They took care of gay men during that time. They set up meal trains. They sat with them. They fed them when their families disowned them, right? When people didn't want to be near them. It was the lesbians' child. And so after the AIDS crisis subsided, the L, they decided the L needed to actually come first. And so that's why today is LGBT. QAI plus. Okay. But that's what happened. Back, go Google it. I promise. Family, thank y'all so much. And is still. Come on, Dr. Green, tell him again. Huh? The lesbians ain't never too far away. And congratulations again on being honored by the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus. All right. This is what we're doing here on Queer News Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central, every Thursday at noon. Okay. And don't forget to listen to the podcast. We drop it every Monday morning. 5 or 6 queer news stories you absolutely want to know at the intersections of race and sexuality. We're talking politics, culture, and entertainment. This is Queer News Done Right.